tense moment for the riders, and there is the current world champion Tony Rickardsson preparing for his first race. As you can see, plenty of room in the pits here for the riders. They all have their individual berths, they have their mechanical teams behind them. And there was Craig Boyce limpering up. Craig doing very well indeed in the world final last year, surprising himself, I think, by finishing third. And he'll certainly be looking to be a regular scorer in this Grand Prix series. So the scene is set, the racing is about to commence. As you can see, the track staff coming out on the track. The start marshal there in his uniform, looking very spectacular indeed. And we're about to get underway for this first ever Grand Prix series. And I'm sure that the riders are feeling just as nervous as anybody in the stadium. Who's going to come out on top? Well, it's a long, long road that finishes in England on September the 30th, but we do know that at the end of this six-match series, we will have found a worthy world champion. And that is the man who they're all shooting at the moment, current world champion Tony Rickardsson, just going through a ritual of practicing his starting technique. He'll be looking to get away from the gate very quickly indeed, as will this man, Chris Louis, son of former England international John Louis. Chris will have fond memories of the world final, having finished third at Pocking in Germany in that particular world final. And the man who we saw briefly there will have fond memories of this particular track in Poland, because that's Gary Havelock, who won his world championship here on this very track. And there's the man that the Poles will all be cheering for tonight, their great white hope, Thomas Gollob, and he's sure to be at the top of the pile tonight.
The last minute preparations, tapes being tightened, and that's the spare tapes actually. So we can reckon that a few nerves will be taut at this moment as well. Heat 1 coming up. In red on the inside, Thomas Gollob. Next to him, Gary Havelock in blue. In white, Chris Louis. In yellow and black, the helmet colours you identify the riders. That would be Tony Rickardsson. That's Jacek Gollob, left of picture there, just going out of frame. The younger brother of Thomas Gollob, and many think as good a rider. Just waiting for the signal to start. The 1995 Grand Prix World Speedway Championship. And they really are keeping them waiting, and that's going to do nothing for their nerves. We're ready for the off night. 25, 30,000 people perhaps packed in Olympic Stadium in Wrocław, in Poland. Some of the most enthusiastic and indeed at times raucous supporters in the world. And if their own boys don't do too well, they don't hesitate to give them the bird. Just down the way in Chorzo, Katowice, the famous Katowice whistle, and I'm quite sure if Gollob doesn't deliver, then he might get a few raspberries from this crowd too, so he has a very special reason to shine. There's Tony Rickardsson on the outside. We have cheerleaders at the start there. I'm altogether sure that that isn't slightly off-putting for the riders. There's Gollob, last minute adjustments. He was approached by Bellevue Manchester just a couple of years ago to ride in Britain, but the word is that he's a very expensive item. His younger brother just making the arrangements, the last minute adjustments. There is Rickardsson, exciting man. Isn't that consistent from the starts, but really battles through. Won the world crown from the back, and he's an exciting performer. There's the lineup. Inside, Gollob. Next to him, Gary Havelock, likes this track. Grid 3 has Chris Louis. On the outside, it is Tony Rickardsson. Girls disappear infield, and we're all set. much the tension here at Olympic Stadium as they come under starters' orders. We have a flamboyant starting marshal, certainly taking his time to settle, but they're down now. We're down at tape level. And away they go into the first corner, and here's it to show. It looks like Chris Louis got a flyer. Chris Louis in white leads it. Second place, it is Gollob, and Louis has made a dream start there for England. The English fans here, a few of them, are enjoying this moment because this is an impressive start from Chris Louis. He leads it. Second place, Gollob. Gollob now trying to get him in line, trying to reel him in, trying to find the holes, but Louis is riding quite beautifully. In third place at the moment, it is Tony Rickardsson, and Gary Havelock is peeled off at the back, and he will be far from rapturous. 4 laps, remember, are averaging something like about 55 miles an hour. The track is very, very slick and hard packed so far, but one would expect that. It'll loosen up. It is a most heartening start from Louis. He really is spread eagling, a very class field. Tony Rickardsson is back in third place and has made absolutely no inroads at all on Thomas Gollob. So Chris Louis would have been looking to have a rare battle with Rickardsson, and Gollob has had things all his own way here pretty well after the first corner. He takes 3 points. Second place, it is Gollob. Third place, it is Tony Rickardsson. At the back, Gary Havelock. Well, there is Louis, and he could hardly have dreamed of a better start. Made the jump from the tapes, rode a very, very cool first corner. Look at it again. You can see he's in grid 3, which is not normally a favourable start, but he's away there. He gets across Gollob. Gollob tries to make his run down the inside, but young Louis always had the line and really just moved away from this point. That's about the nearest that Thomas Gollob, just a tyre width away there, but that's about the nearest he got to him during the whole of Heat 1. There is that start in Slupus Homo again. You can see Gollob just rearing slightly, but there's the distance, and Chris Louis clearly has the drop. Rickardsson could do nothing around the outside. He will come through the field better, one fancies, when it loosens up. And these are beautiful pictures. It's artistry there. You can see just the distance there, but that's about the nearest that Gollob got to Chris Louis.